lobbies. Thankfully, not a problem here for us this afternoon. My prediction for who's coming 15th, you know what? I'm going to go with Ebates, Gromalock, Enkyo. Spoke a lot about them this afternoon. They're moving on up. They looked better in that last map, and I'm giving them the right to sneak on through. Right now, sitting in 23rd on 20 points, I think they can do it.
I love it. That's a great shout. I'll give mine here in a second. Since I offered up the challenge, I'm going to give myself a little bit more time. But we're tuning in with Wars' team. And I think something worth noting on the leaderboard, you might have mentioned it, and I might have missed it. This team, as a reminder, was in 24th place. And because of their last map victory of 34 points, they have jumped all the way up to 8th place. About exactly where I thought they would land. Top 10, but not top 5. Still a little bit of work to do. If anything has already been proven in this tournament, it's that just because you won a map doesn't mean you're going to qualify, as Don Lucky's at 15th. But I think as long as they put up some decently consistent numbers, they shouldn't have any issues making it.
Well, they've already shown what they can bring to the afternoon. Just got to do it one more time. I think one of the tough things is, especially if you're a squad like that, where you are coming into a lobby perhaps as an underdog, you're worried a little bit if you've perhaps peaked too early. You know, was your big game not enough to carry you on through the afternoon? I don't know. Again, looking at this leaderboard and some of the teams that are sitting around the cusp right now, we've mentioned... you know what? That prediction, any chance I can take it back?
Hey, look, 2 more maps to go. They got plenty of time to make top 15. It only takes 1, you know what I mean? But no, I don't know who it's going to be. I think it was a little bit more of a meme prediction. Ebates really needs to win this. They have little to no cash. Actually, I say they have little to no cash. Gromalock has 13K, so they must have completed some contracts and grabbed some loot beforehand. But we'd like to save that and split it up between the team if Ebates can win it here. Nice and slow against Locktiv. Playing patient. Can we get a little throwable? Okay, some connection. Not a ton to write home about. It gets caught in the rotation. Sorry, Ebates. We'll see you on the map here shortly, though. Plenty of cash to be held by his teammate.
Yeah, difficult situation that. He's checking left. And to be honest, when the C4 connected, I thought that was right. Maybe he needs to be a bit more aggressive off the back of the C4, but... yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't fall for him, and he's checking the wrong side and gets cleaned up. And Ebates' difficult afternoon continues. But again, I am backing them to squeeze on through despite the struggles. Gromalock there on a casual 13K, so an opportunity to bring players back in as required. And a team that's looking to get plenty of cash together and some resources is going to be, I called them the monarchy of Al Mazrah, and we are expecting big things for them in Urzikstan, but so far this tournament not going their way. Currently sat just, and I mean just, half a point inside qualification, but no one would be surprised if they suddenly lit everything up. It looks like they're in central zone nice and early, so perhaps adjusting things, you know, through the afternoon, figuring things out. Maybe they've been a bit too highly aggressive. We spoke about it at the start. Are they going to be a high-risk team? Well, maybe they were, and now they're deciding, you know what, we're just going to hit nice and central, give ourselves opportunities to cut teams off as they rotate on in.
I don't mind it. I've got to go out on a limb here and say, if they try to change up their playstyle, which works for them for now a while, post-London, during London, the lead-up of London, they are slayers through and through. They scored over 200 points in London in a fairly similar format. If they try to change up their playstyle to play super defensive, I think there's a chance that the best team in the world does not qualify. Do I think it's likely? I think it's very, very unlikely, but still technically possible. It's these moments that you look back on when you're thinking about your playstyle, you think about your strategy, and if you start playing scared, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. It's kind of the nature of Warzone. You've got to go in with confidence. I'm sure they still have it. It might just be a question of kind of getting their resources up early game before full sending, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think one of the situations might just be that they're thinking, okay, let's just get ourselves off to a solid start, rack up a couple of the points that we need. We're back on with Ebates. My prediction does not seem to have done him any good. Oki on the other side of things, by the way. Again, Oki, Wiz. These boys were spoken about as 2 of the scariest players that were coming through last year out of the European scene, both very young. Played with FIFA Kill, did okay. We're getting better as they went on and finished 11th at the World Series Finals. And look like they have all the potential in the world, but it's moments like this, tournaments like this, where they can really become a standout name. Alongside Selly, they have themselves a great third. So as they try and push on forward here through this farm area, looks like they've spotted a couple of teams ahead here goes, but that is a difficult rotation to try and make against anyone.
Okay, Enigma, I am ready for my prediction.
About time.
I am going to go with Omit T. So Omit T is playing with Stuo and Pat Zuka. They got 16th last week playing with Serve.
Okay.
They are currently in 16th place right now playing with Omit T. Okay. Well, they may have just got fully eliminated. Thanks, observers. I don't know what that was. If it was that, then that's terrible for me. However, I love you, production, because it's going to further prove my point. Yes, they did die in 28th place. May have just died when I said it. But that means they're going to drop down to about 18th, 19th at the lowest is my guess. And then they're going to come out swinging for the final 2 maps. I'm putting out my wager there. They're in 16th place. They got 16th place last week. I think they get 15th this week.
Honestly, Stuart and Patsuka, seeing them struggle in anything is kind of weird. They're a team that very much so go underneath the radar. They're a squad that perhaps underestimated even just in Europe, let alone worldwide. And they picked themselves up a really handy top 4 in both World Series stages in Europe. And then a very good showing as well when it came to the finals. It was an interesting squad as well. A German, a Finn, and a Latvian all kind of coming together for that. And a squad that always just, you know, seems to be there when it comes to the end-game conversations, when it comes to your top 5s. Their average performances, their average placings are all really high between them. So definitely a squad that can do something. Hopefully they've learned from whatever it was they got wrong last week. And yes, I can see that they were indeed eliminated.
No, I'm just laughing because it's a great call, and I love your breakdown. You've got an analytical mind for the game, and you always know all the information we need at our fingertips. It just so happens that this game in particular, every time you talk, Ebates' team is getting slammed. I mean, just there, we're not even looking at their perspectives, and Inkyo's getting dropped. I mean, this is hilarious. We'll see next time you throw your, start talking. Let's see if production can continue following the demise of Ebates this round. But we'll continue to tune in with Biffle's POV again. 14th place, very uncharacteristic for them, and I think that I'm not having to put my foot in my mouth here. I think they are kind of continuing this more aggressive playstyle. They're finding kills. They were just kind of taking a little bit of time to get into the swing of things in the early game, getting their resources up.
Behind me. Oh, he just like re-deadied me.
Honestly, not sure I want to speak because he basically just going through it right now. I'm going to get a DM later saying, bro, next time just keep our name out your mouth. Huskerrs is definitely a thing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are tuning in, but it never hits more true than this map, apparently. By the way, this rotation out of Biffle's Sage and Shifty is a difficult one. It's a lot of open ground. It's uphill. There could be players lurking around any, bush, tree, corner. And yeah, it's a difficult rotation to make. Looks like they've made it relatively safely. I'd be interested to know how many smokes they've got between them as a squad. Looks like a Muni in the back pocket. They do indeed. Okay, an opportunity then to stock up if they need them to rotate. But it's a difficult spot to cover. It's a area of ground that's caught out many a great team. And so far, it's not been their afternoon. Let's see how that all plays out for him. Anyway, on board with FIFA kill. Len. And I forget the third for a second, but this is a team that we expect to do really, really well. And actually, falling in the back is going to be Len, and it's Enxion who's going to be with them. But it's split right now, Thief and Enxion, and potentially in trouble.
Pretty important note here for the team. That is Joewo on the other side. Joewo getting knocked. They have really no chance to lock down that elimination unless this mortar connects. They've re-knocked Joewo yet again. Still no chance to fully connect on that elimination, especially if Joe was able to crawl indoors, which it looks like he was able to. No, they were able to get it with a grenade, a well-placed grenade over the top. Mortars don't do it, but a frag will. Clean up one. It's a 3v2, which kind of calls back FIFA, who went for the early rotation, just wasn't going to risk the fight. But now that they have player advantage, this is a fight they want to take.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this relationship develops, by the way, when it comes to Len and FIFA kill. We'll come back to it because it looks like they're in a spot above them. They're just going to take a gunfight. Someone hops out the window. You're going to assume that's one of Joe's teammates. Enxion will go after it, but I think that he's missed the timing and Lennon gets picked up by Bread. So potentially, as far as we know, a 2v2 situation between two of the best teams that we're talking about when it comes to the lobby, but only one of them's had a good afternoon so far. Thief wants to back off here. Enxion isn't sure. Again, this trio is not usually... Thief Kill and Len do not usually run with Enxion. It'd be interesting to see if Enxion plays this the way that his teammates want or the way he wants.
That's a great shout. They are able to actually grab Bread and Skull. That's Enxion almost nearly by himself grabbing both. Should clean up both. It looks like Joe was able to get back onto the map before that cleanup, but Joe is not going to be landing here. That was a masterful team wipe, a huge victory out of the likes of this squad. And I don't know what it is about the number 24, but this team is in 24th right now, and they need to step it up because this is a team we expected to be inside the top 5, and they've been struggling today.
Okay, whole different team.
They have indeed. And
right here.
squad that you expect to see do more. I mean, the way Enxion play, by the way, we were speaking about Stu and Patsuka a moment ago. It was Enxion who was running with them through the World Series. He picked up a lot of kills last year throughout World Series. A very good player. He played in the Trials of Urzikstan last week, put up a real show. A very talented individual. But it's just interesting to see his kind of playstyle, which is a lot more aggressive and take on a lot of fights and loves to get involved in the thick of it, as opposed to Lennon and FIFA Killer, who are considerably more systematic. And with the way Lennon plays, he's very much so an IGL player. You could hear him throughout that process being like, no, play this back, call this back, don't push this, don't play it. Enxion instead goes different and it reaps the rewards potentially, but Lennon himself now down and out, deployable buys all around, and well, his team might be in a spot of bother as the rotation here between bits of cover will not be pretty.
Yeah, I'm not really sure there what happened with the portable buy station. I don't know if they called it in or stopping one from being called in. It just really wasn't placed well regardless, or maybe shot out of the air. Wasn't able to catch that, but a tough situation because they could have used that easily. Look at the amount of cash FIFA has. He's almost got 16K in pocket. It would have been massive to have all three back. I mean, they could split it up between all three and have plenty of cash to work with, but back into the gulag we go. Joewo is alive. Skullface and Bread luckily hadn't been wiped yet until that fight. So both have gulags, and it looks like Bread's won his, and Skullface wins his against Empathy. And that is a tough one to win. Empathy is a very strong player, but Skull, whew, the drop shots? What are we playing right now? This looks like multiplayer.
You can see the look on his face. He knows he got away with that one. Skin of his teeth stuff. I mean, he's a brilliant player. Just lie down and essentially bait the player out to you who's just damaged you. Thinks he's got all the chance for the aggression and instead gets caught with his pants down. Fantastic play out of Skullface, a trio that we expect to see do very big things again through this year. And Skullface, I mean, when we talk about 1v1 situations, he's the king of solo situations, right? So we know that he's very much so got huge plays in his pocket when it comes to those, but yeah, back on board with Ebates, Gromalock. Honestly, I'm just talking very nervously right now because I'm expecting this to fall apart in any moment.
Yeah, luckily, considering the fact that I went on some long monologues, they've actually restabilized here. So maybe I should just kind of take over the comms here for a second and make sure they can win this gunfight, and then I'll pass it off to you for the next one. But so far, so good. They're actually able to ward off some of the advances there from a mortar they elected to throw out, and gonna actually very smartly, and I will credit Ebates here. I was ragging on him before. I love the guy, good friends with him, but a very smart play. He is a very smart player, and he knows he's not technically the most skilled player out there. He's not a bread man, right? He's not necessarily a biffle, but what he does have is an IGL mind and a great mind for the game. Shooting out things like those redeploy, drones is really a big brain play. A lot of these players like to do to make sure they can't get flown on or flanked without them able to pick up some of those teams in rotation. So a strong play there to protect their position should go well for them as we swap perspectives here to the team in question, Team Biffle, 14th place. They are flying at any team they can get their hands on, and they're winning it. This is a lot more of what we expected from this trio.
Yeah, and they're hunting down Moonride, who is the contract right now. Moonride will, I think, check back. It looks like it, or though. Looks like he might just about get away. No, he does not. He's picked up just as the contract's coming to a close there. That will be Moonride, Blade, and Vortex in big trouble as we start to talk about the situation throughout, playing from that mid-game into late game. But it looks like we're finally seeing our world champion trio start to see some heat. 5 kills alone for Shifty here. And you were speaking, by the way, a moment ago about Ebates. This trio in particular, they needed to pick up someone or at least mold one of them into a leader, right? They couldn't all be slayers. They couldn't all be those kind of players that were just going to fly at everything on the map. You do need that person who makes the comms happen. You've got Lennon, for example, in the FIFA kill trio last year. And then you've got, one of the reasons I really like Gromalock, for example, who's playing alongside Ebates. His team last year, they made adjustments to that World Series of Warzone that were ingenious. Map 1, they changed their landing zone because they don't want to test to Soaker and Co. Soaker and Co go and win the whole map. So they're a very clever pairing when it comes to Gromalock and Ebates. And then you've got Enkyo, Young Slayer. And it's a great balance. Those roles definitely have a place here in Warzone.
A great call out and a good opportunity for a listen. And let's listen into the IGL Shifty.
No mount. This is all clear. You have a full team here. Full team crossing from both sides. I'm going to shoot a zip out. Shoot a zip out.
All right. We need a portable so we can get money, honestly. There's money right here for one of you.
Yeah, I'll grab it. You got it.
Actually, Momo right here for you too. I have a cons vest now.
I grabbed it, yeah.
Grab that medic. You could probably grab the scab and see if it comes close, honestly.
Yo, across from us?
I see down on the roof.
Eyes on the roof.
We can hold this, bro. Yo, cross
On us,
second
on us, on
floor,
us.
second floor.
I'm one shot.
And a roof.
I got self.
On me. So you guys are good. You got my guns.
Peter, they jumped in.
Clean up. Above us.
There's a deadie right
Cracked
there
on
on that
second floor.
body.
Cracked on second floor.
He's gonna jump off. He's still there. He's right there.
Weak. Crack.
Nice, good shit, bro.
I have a
Good
mini
round,
bug.
honestly.
The other 3 men might push now. I want to get out of here now.
Yeah.
Let's play for this fucking buy. I'm throwing the mini box on me.
Right.
Bottom.
Good.
I loved listening
Yeah,
in to
you
this
set up for
trio,
that. Just
and I
watch that
love
window,
that we
in
kind
the
of
window,
got
in the
set
window.
up for that based on your comms here, Enigma, because the trio, you said it, and I totally agree, kind of
Yeah,
behind the
shooting.
scenes.
Back up a little bit.
Their
Can we go
comms
back
are
to where we
so
were?
Back to the
casual.
building,
Even when
yeah,
they
I'm gonna
lose
check it
a
out,
player,
check it
they
out.
lose,
Do you see anything?
one of their teammates in that gunfight. They get the team wipe. They push out to the buy station. Here, Shifty say, "Yeah, I don't want to stay here anymore. Let's push out and play the spy." And it's so casual because they know exactly what they want to do, and they trust each other. They've learned that through the course of some adversity leading up to the global finals, where of course it all came together. So a fun listen in there. We'll continue to try to do that with a couple different teams, but a very solid game for this trio. This is the game we've been waiting for, folks. 13 teams remaining. The multiplier has come into play. We've got Biffle, I believe, on 7 eliminations already. The team is well into double digits. They've done what they need to do to maintain their position on that leaderboard, if not advance a little bit. The question is, can they aggressively jump with this map if they can win it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're expecting World Series of Warzone champions to step up at some point, and it looks like they're having a really solid map. And you wouldn't know they were under any pressure because it's so calm and casual and collective when they speak so efficiently. And it's almost like they're kind of just playing pobs, right? They're just running through the motions, but very much so been up against after a slow start this afternoon. And this lobby, though, seems to well and truly be a great performance out of them. We move on through a couple of teams. Face Kaylee Cole holding what looked like fire station area. Adrian and Kriegs are in big trouble, though. Aiden gets sprayed through the wall. Will try and res. The Semtex will tag. He will be cleaned up. And it's actually Shifty and Cole that they've come up against. A huge, perhaps, gunfight when we talk about later standings. Again, all that matters is that you get into top 15. But that'll be a big moment there for Shifty and Co. as they try and get their afternoon rolling.
Yeah, worth calling out. Kaylee was in 18th place. Aiden's team was in 9th place going into this lobby. And of course, Shifty, Biffle, Sage, they were in 14th. So all of these teams technically on the bubble or close to it. Kaylee's squad's got all 3 alive. She does not have a kill to her name yet, but I know she's kind of playing kind of that anchor role for this trio, kind of playing a little bit safer, making sure we get buybacks while also picking up some of those long-range gunfights. So we'll see what that trio ends up netting at the end of the day. They need a pretty solid game, but it's going to be nothing in comparison to this one. I know a teammate, I think it was Shifty, had at least 7 or 8, and after that team wipe, maybe more. Biffle on 4. They've at least have 12 or 13, if not more than that. But now in trouble, Biffle elects to make a play here, thinking the grenade might get the knock, chows it, and goes down. They've lost one. This is a troublesome moment for them. What would have been a massive game turns into utter chaos and destruction. They go down, fully eliminated. Still a solid game, but not the game that they were hoping for. Likely top 10, but maybe just barely. Kaylee, last alive, has an opportunity to save her team, but no, she gets taken down quickly as well. That's Prodigy and Prospect answering back. Some of the teams we were calling out, they're getting wiped here inside the top 10. Looks like about 6 teams remaining.
Yeah, just when we started to speak about Shifty and Co. looking like they were about to build into a really good map here. Don't get me wrong, the points will be solid, likely, as you said, perhaps advance them even up the leaderboard. But just one of those moments where it just seems like maybe they need to pick up the pace and show a little bit more clinicalness in their fights. And, well, they managed to pick up 1 kill, but then get completely cleaned up by Vision and Jammer, I think it was, still up. And, well, Lennon just about still up as that grenade catches him flush. FIFA kill is out of here. There is a buy station in this final circle, so watch teams try and rotate in on it. Krinks is still up. We know that Adrian is down. Is Aiden down as well as the graphic shifts? He's still up. So a chance here is for 2, but Aiden's coming back on in, essentially. So very little resources. And Krinks tries to play it, pushes, hits the buy, and just about gets his teammate back in. But when you consider that your teammates are coming back in with no resources, was it worth the suicide buy?
Crinks is the king of the suicide buys. We'll come back to that here shortly as Vision is playing his life, but he was able to get Adrian, which should allow them to lurk in the air for top 5. That's a crucial point because top 5 multipliers change. They're going to get the 1.7x multiplier because of that buyback. Lennon will also net it. Last alive for his team, picks one off onto the side. No, doesn't quite connect. A little bit of geometry issues. Lennon go back to school, could not take down his opponents. Still has the angles though. Forget geometry, just give me an acute triangle. That's all he needs to pick up one. Top 4, but in trouble. Not a gas mask to his name. Just gonna let himself go down to gas. Still a solid game, 17 eliminations. The team at the top of the leaderboard still alive? What are these guys on? They are moving different today. I thought we could expect a high value performance from them. I was not expecting them to run this tournament, and so far so good. The team at the top of the leaderboard with over some odd 50 points or so has a chance here to win yet again. They've already won a map today, Enigma, and look who's riding out above them.
Yeah, all 3 players available to them, and the fact that Grommerlock is up here means that there's also a 2 somewhere. So Exact, Jace, and their teammate here in a situation to see out another map. Again, theirs to lose, and last time we called that, they looked real pretty and came out on top. So just holding their angles, a little bit of cover available to them. Gas is going to encroach, but they're in a great situation. They get it down, they get another pickup, and surely only 1 player still standing in this lobby against them.
Team at the top, they've already qualified at this point. They have over 60 points going into this lobby, but a chance to go back to back, have a chance to win another one. Ebates team gets wiped. It's a 3v2 to win it all here in map number 4. Will they get it? Yes, they do. No problems at all. The team at the top remains at the top. A 22-point victory, not that massive, but will push their total almost to 90 points after 4. They're showing their dominance. They're showing that they're earned their right to be here, and they've definitely earned their right to be into the finals next week.
Yeah, you spoke at the top of the show about how this team, especially Exact and Jace, had a difficult year last year by their standards. We knew they had so much more to bring. I spoke about a squad that we have in Europe who's done that exact same thing in Pentagon and Co. They qualified last week in 3rd, get themselves on through.